troops were here, meals were coming, a couple of the neighbors pitched in, everybody planted for us. We were hoping that he would improve. He'd had that seizure, so he knew, like Grant knew, no driving, it's off the table. But then when my medical stuff came up, a couple of people reached out to Grant. I said, yeah, I think it's time that we ask for help.
And people in Iowa Corn had contacts with Farm Rescue too and said, don't be shy to ask for help, and here's the application. Just give me this information and I'll fill it out.
I mean, we didn't know Farm Rescue, and so like they bring their equipment, they have a manager, they do all the details. Like you sit down with them and then they just do it. And I was like, really? That sounds amazing. I think you should look into this. So between people reaching out to him and educating me how this is a seamless process, like what happened when I was doing treatments, like the troops just came and did the things. And that's what Farm Rescue does. They come and they do the things.
It's just neat to see all the web of people doing their part and pitching in. Farm Rescue to come and help us get those beans out in the hours that they were ready. I mean, that's
remarkable. And a weight lifted for us. There's a lot of things that aren't in your control as a farmer all the time. You deal with those things, but when there's a lot more things that you're not in control of, when we're having health difficulties, to have Farm Rescue be able to say, here, let us do this for you. I mean, it's just remarkable. Farm Rescue is not only there to help us, but it's helping our whole section of farmers. You're all trying to get it in when the timing's right. This is huge to be able to have that, and we're grateful. Everyone struggled at some point, but to know that Farm Rescue can do that for everyone is a gift.
Farm Rescue brought a combine and an operator and a grain semi and an operator. And so running 2 combines with huge heads in the same field doing, I don't know how many acres an hour, but we had everybody's head spinning because it's zoom, 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 zoom.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable, the knowledge, the process that you all have in place, the professionalism. It's one thing to manage that in one operation, but you all are doing 7 states. And I know that the volunteers, it's not an easy thing for them, but they do it with a smile, and we're just glad to help, and like, just marvelous. And I know that that is because of so many hands involved that know what they're doing, and in a process that is well crafted and streamlined. And for example, the commodity organizations having support, but also knowledge to educate and encourage farmers that need it, like they're kind of that personal connection, but all the way to the corporate sponsors that help out too. So
farmers aren't always the easiest to get convinced that you can help them. You made it easy.
And I was so surprised that Farm Rescue as an organization has only existed since the early 2000s. Yeah. I would have guessed it, especially for the system and professionalism that you'd have another decade or 2 under your belts. But obviously it's important and needed. I look forward to the day when I'm better and semi-retired and can pay it forward.
All the volunteers have just been encouraging and supportive, and no strings attached, we're here to serve. That's how it comes. And Farm Rescue is going to care about the farm in the way that the farmer cares about the farm. They've made that clear from the beginning.
Not having to worry about that helps me feel okay so that I can heal. I mean, honestly, I've never had to put my own health and well-being before those around me, but now I don't have a choice.
Sometimes it's just too much. I mean, you get to a point and there's too many things at play. And so instead of how am I going to do this, who can help? Who can I ask? Farm Rescue makes sure that you aren't alone. They're there to extend the hand and to take the burden.
We could not do this without you. And so from the bottom of our hearts, with words that fail and are not adequate, thank you.